The Prince Albert Raiders coaching staff knew in November the playoffs were a long shot. The organization made the decision at that point to build for the future. The transition began with the monster trade of Brendan Guhle to Prince George. A total of 16 transactions were made from the beginning of training camp until the January deadline. And head coach Mark Habscheid says that's when the team started to gel.
You know, we were a team in transition. We saw that early on in the season. We had to change the dynamics of it and some pieces to it to get a little bit younger and look more into the future. And with that is, when you do that, is player movements. And when you have player movements, you kind of lose the chemistry of the team. And through the first half, we had peaks and valleys, but it seemed like once the trade deadline was over, we were able to assemble the team and played a lot more like a team.
Despite a lot of time to prepare for the inevitability of missing the playoffs, it's still a tough pill to swallow.
Through all of it, I really liked the way our players responded and never gave up the chase until we were mathematically eliminated.
The Raiders were 13-10-2 in their final 25 games and became a very difficult team to play against. Habscheid says they would have been a tough playoff opponent.
Well, I don't think a lot of teams had a lot of fun playing against us toward the end of the season. We were difficult to play against, there's no doubt, and I think right from the get-go, no matter who we had in the lineup, our guys worked real hard.
The team suffered through season-ending injuries to first-line center Jordy Stallard, emerging 16-year-old winger Carson Miller, and lost top defenseman Wojciech Gudik for the last 2 weeks. Habscheid says the team will benefit from the progress of the players who filled in their roles.
We tried to protect our young guys as much as we can, and we did that with some good older players that took the brunt of that quality ice time, where they were able to play against kind of their own caliber, so to speak, in their own age group. It's difficult in this league because you have 16-year-olds and you have 20-year-olds, and sometimes no matter how good your 16s are, you play them against 20-year-olds. It's not fair.
The Raiders have new young prospects apparently ready to play in the WHL next season, and only 3 players are ineligible to return. But replacing outgoing 20-year-olds Colton Olenek, Kevin Leff, and captain Tim Vanstone will be one of the big challenges in 2017-18.
What we've learned, especially through this year, is don't get ahead of yourself, because things change in a hurry. You never know who you're going to get back, how guys summer, those types of things. And you know, we like our youth, but at the same time we lose at least three key components to our team with our overage players who were losing character, who were all winners, and we're going to miss them in the room for sure.
So the first big question of 2017-18 is who will be captain and assume the C from Tim Vanstone. Another will be who will be Ian Scott's backup on opening night of the regular season. Nick Sanders requires surgery on both hips and may not be ready for training camp. For Sega's Inside Edge, I'm Drew Wilson.